So I'll share my screen with you. When you guys can see my screen, let me know.
Yes.
Great. So I've already added you, DOS, to this Google Drive folder. It'll be how we communicate, and your workload and all the things you do will be on this drive. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing that you're going to do for me, and I'm going to load this video up to the drive also afterwards, so you can go over it if you want to afterwards. But the first thing you need to do is go into this form over here, which is the client intake form for the Done For You program. It's already partially filled out with someone else's information, so you have an idea of what you're looking for and what to do. Just remove this other person's information and put your own in. Okay?
Okay.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Okay? And then once I have your login information to your LinkedIn account, then I will go in there and start fine-tuning it.
Okay.
Okay.
Glenn, are we running it off your account, or do you want to be running it off mine account?
What's
We're
that?
running off DOS's account.
Which account are we talking about? I'm sorry.
LinkedIn. So.
Oh, it's running on my account right now, but you can run on DOS's account, DOS, whatever you want to do.
You want to run on DOS. You want to run on your account, DOS, not Glenn's account. Is this your page?
It is.
Okay, great. So we're going to do a bunch of things to make it look much better. Because people will be talking to you and connecting with you on LinkedIn, and you want it to go through your account, obviously, because you're the guy, you're the client, you're the person who has the program. It's your company, right?
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. So are we? Let's connect. Let's make sure we're connected on LinkedIn also. Okay. So I sent you a LinkedIn invite. Just do me a favor, when you have it, let me know, or just accept it.
Okay.
Okay.
I will do that.
Yeah. The next thing you're going to do is, as part of the program, you need to purchase a Sales Navigator account.
I do already have it.
Okay. You already have it already. Perfect. Great. Awesome. So here is a video on creating search strings. You're going to watch this video when you get a chance to, and then go on this file here, key phrase filters, locations, job titles. And once again, this is populated with this other person's information. We're going to make it yours. Okay, so I want your mobile account, and you have mine already here. Okay, that way when I need to send you a message that's immediate, I can just text you.
Okay, sounds good.
I find that email's great and other things are great, but I find when I get a text on my phone, my Fitbit tells me I got a text, and I can answer you pretty quickly.
Okay, got it.
As well as, do you already have a calendar booking interface like MeetingBird or Calendly?
No. I've got my Outlook on Office 365, but I'm sure I can open
No problem at all. So we're going to have you create one, and what I'll do is I'll set up a secondary meeting just between you and I, where I'll go on your computer with you, and I'll create your MeetingBird account for you. It's free. It ties into Google Calendar, and I know you have Office 365, so you probably use Outlook Calendar. I don't know if the app that I use integrates with that, but I know it integrates with regular Outlook. So I'm not sure if Outlook 365 is web-based or is it computer-based?
It is web-based. I'd be surprised if it works with Outlook Desktop that it doesn't work with O365, but we'll find out.
Yeah. So you might want to switch over to the standard standalone version of Outlook, only because you can use Calendar on there. And then I have a interface called Sync2. This over here that I bought, it's like $30-40 for the year, or forever, I mean, which syncs Outlook with Google Calendar. So I click on it, just does it automatically for me, and that way I can have my Google Calendar and my Outlook calendar talking together.
Okay.
Okay.
And you are on Oh, no, Windows. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on Windows 7 myself.
All right.
So most people use Windows 10 by now, but I don't think Windows 10 is any good. So I still use Windows 7. Anyways, yeah, so you want to fill out this whole form here.
So I'm happy to do that, Alan. Glenn, help me. I know you guys have connected up and talked. Glenn, you and I spoke very briefly about this process.
Mm-hmm.
Can we spend a couple of minutes understanding what this process, how does this work, Glenn and Alan, and what is it that each of us will be responsible for and things like that?
Yeah, no problem at all. So the way the process works is my system and my team, which I'll hook you up with later on during the week once we get all the other background things done, my system will send your target market an initial connection message. So you probably want to target the IT community and businesses. Give me a second, guys. Gonna let 1 second, okay? Go. So you want to probably connect with, IT managers and corporations and companies, right? Like my other client does, who does IT in Calgary, and he does most of his searching for IT companies in Canada. You'll do IT companies, I assume, mostly in the USA. So you want to go to your search strings and create them. And what a search string is, basically, let's go to my other client's account or my other account here. So let's say you want to do IT managers. So IT managers, and in the video for the creating a search string video, which is this one over here, this is through Sales Navigator, okay?
Okay.
So you'll basically watch this video creating a search string. A search string is once you have done all your filtering. So let's say you do IT managers and you want to go to California. Let's say you go to Orange County. And then you'll click on second and third here as your connections. So you and I, let's say you and I are connected directly. You're my first connection. All of my first connections, yeah.
My apologies. I am familiar with the searches and I'm familiar with this, right? So I'm happy for you to explain, but I want you to know that I'm already aware of searching.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, so once you've done a search and click on apply, you want to make sure that this number that you get afterwards at the very end is 1,000 or below. And the reason that is because if you look at the bottom, in Sales Navigator, it's a little different. It has numbers 1 to 40 over here. Okay? On regular LinkedIn, it has numbers 1 to 100. But basically, with the 1 to 40 or 1 to 100, they're showing you up to, but not over, 1,000 people at a time.
Yep.
So if you go to page 40 on your Sales Navigator and try going to next, it can't. So if I go to page 100 here and try going to the next afterwards, there's no next afterwards. So all large social media interfaces like LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter will show you up to 1,000 results at a time. And so it's very, very important when you do your search strings to make sure this number comes down to 1,000 by applying more filters to it. So on your Sales Navigator, you can search also by company size, company revenue. You can fine-tune the area on Sales Navigator. It has a lot more filters. So on Sales Navigator, you type in California, and it has, this one here has maybe 14 or 15 locations. On Sales Navigator, it'll have 30 or 40 locations. So it really has the finite minutia of all the things you're looking for. For instance, I put on Fresno and take out Orange County and go apply, the number dramatically changes. So now we have 1,131 people as opposed to the 18,000 we had in Fresno beforehand. So this number will work also. It's just slightly above 1,000. And so the reason is because my system, when it starts taking the people in to the software I use for the initial send of the connection message, it only will be able to collect the first 1,000 people. And so if you have 18,000 like you had a second ago, it'll miss the 17,000 people that you had on the result. Once you have your search done properly, once again watching the video, you'll take this piece of code, which is the URL, and you'll stick it on this file over here, which is key phrase filters, locations, job titles, and you'll put it somewhere here. For instance, I'll just delete all these other ones from my other client right now, so you can create your own new ones yourself. Come on. Oh, wow, it's just taking forever, man.
One trick here,
Yeah.
I work very well with Office documents. You do a shift, you go to the top wherever you want it, and then shift, control, and then all page down all the way down. It's a lot easier.
Yeah. Let's just take a second. Almost done.
No worries.
Are you using the scroll bar on the right, Alan, or you just go?
I'm just pulling up the page. That's all. There it goes. Okay. So what you'll do is you will record the metrics of the search. So you'll say over here, and you don't have to highlight it at all. For some reason, my client highlighted it. If you don't have to, you'll do IT managers, and it was what was it? It was Fresno. IT managers, Fresno, and then you'll record the amount that you found, 1131, as far as the results go. Okay, and that'll be it. What I'll do when I use a search string is I will date it. So let's say I use the search string today, which is May the 16th. I'll just put on May 16, like this over here. And that way, when we go back to them later on, we can figure out what date I started using it for you. Okay? And that way we can reverse engineer. Let's say we have all of a sudden a lot of engagement for a certain search string. I can reverse engineer which one we used and when we used it. And that way we can hopefully go back into that search string again and just tweak it as far as location goes, because I can use the same metrics on the search string afterwards and go back in afterwards again and change it to, let's go to Bakersfield and take off Fresno and go apply. So looking at the same area and the same metrics, I have a brand new search string for Bakersfield this time with 695 results. Right?
Okay, got it. Understand.
Okay, so you'll just fill out these forms over here. Also, for looking at your profile, I want to do a new headshot for you.
Okay.
The headshot should be you dressed up in a suit and tie and smiling this time, and also not quite so close. So smiling, suit and tie, dark suit, light shirt, nice tie, smiling, looking professional. You can even use your cell phone, because cell phone cameras often now have great cameras on them. Okay, I'll create a cover background for your background here based upon your company. And then the next thing we want to do is start working on editing your profile. So usually I find most people's copy on their profile is feature-based. We do this. We've been in business this long. Our services include, okay? What people really want to see, though, on someone's profile is an answer the two questions. What can you do for me? And why should I use you as opposed to the other 1,000 people on LinkedIn doing exactly the same thing you do? And you and I can have a conversation about that, as well as Glenn can. As Glenn's your coach, you want to pull that information out of DOS, Glenn, and the things you want to concentrate on are things like, what does DOS hear on a regular basis from his clients saying something like this over here? Hey, DOS, I'm sure glad we found your company. I was using someone else beforehand. Their services were crap. You're a great guy. Your services are amazing, and this is why. And if you ever asked your clients why they use you and what they can say about you, you want to start asking them, because we want to start communicating that information on your profile. Usually most companies and most individuals don't have the amazing information that their clients say about them communicated on their profile, and therefore when someone goes to their profile, they see the same information that they see in every other profile. And what I ask my clients also is, looking at your profile now, could this same copy go on, on 200 other clients' profiles or people's profiles who do the same thing you do? So, this says nothing about what you really do for clients, because you could say, take the same coffee probably and stick it on another 100 profiles and would still work, right? We want to figure out, why are you different and why are you better than other companies out there doing the same thing you do? So that's one of the challenges we gotta overcome.
So
And then
Alan,
put that information on your profile, on your company page, and hopefully your website.
got it. Okay, I want to take a step back, Alan. What I'm not clear on, I love what you're talking about. It is generally helpful. But what I'm a little unclear on is the process itself. Okay, so we set up my
Sure.
LinkedIn
Here's the
profile.
process. Yeah, so
Sorry.
here's the process. I send out the initial connection message as well as the first follow-up message. So here's the initial connection message. I want to connect with you. Keep it short and simple. This message over here has to be 300 characters or less, just the way LinkedIn works for the initial connection message. And then once they accept your connection request, my system will send us a follow-up message right away also.
Okay.
And the whole idea is, and the way my system works is, it's relationship marketing. Most people, when they get a connection message from someone they don't know, the very first thing that person does when they accept the connection message is they send them some stupid thing like, hey, thank you for accepting my connection message. I do this, this, and this service. If you ever want to hire me, don't hesitate to contact me. And people are usually thinking, from my clients' reactions to those messages, is WTF, I don't even know who you are even, and try to sell me something. So the whole idea is, how can you engage with your target market as opposed to trying to sell them? Yes, you can tell them what your services are, but you don't do the ask right away. You want to find out who they are, what their needs are, what their profile says. So if you go on someone's profile, let's just take this over here. Does this person, what is this person doing? Do they possibly even need my services? Looking at their profile, right? So most people don't even bother going on someone's profile afterwards and to find out what they are doing and who they are. The second part of the engagement is my team personally customizing message templates so that when they're trying to communicate with your target market, number one, they know the messages they're trying to use because you've written them already. So here is conversation template. And so you're going to go in there with Glenn and re-edit all these conversations here so that my team has some idea of what to say to your target market. And they're going to go on the target market's profile and usually pull out a couple of snippets here and there so that the message looks customized, as well as the message looks like the person, which means you, actually went on the person's profile and knows who they are, as opposed to just putting on a blank message or a cut and paste message each time that has nothing that's customized at all.
So this is for the response to their connection accept message, correct?
Yeah, so once again, my system sends out the initial connection message, the person accepts the connection message, then my system sends out the first follow-up message, which usually is this one over here, Here's the
Automatic
first follow-up message.
without understanding their profile, just automatic standardized message, correct?
Yeah, standardized message, the first one is standardized.
Okay.
Once a person gets the standardized message, depending on whether they engage with you or not, if they don't engage with you at all, then we'll start sending them customized manual messages. My team will, on your behalf, based upon these messages here. They'll take the message, they'll rework the message slightly, and put something customized into the message showing that you went on the person's profile and actually looked at, hey, I see that you're the, what is it here? You're the co-founder of Expandify. You must be really busy doing that on a regular basis. And as you well know, in the cybersecurity, field, it's so important for yourself and your clients to be properly secured, kind of thing, right?
So I get this. So question is, how does Glenn get involved in this process? So it looks like it's coming from me.
It's coming from you.
Okay.
So Glenn is your coach. Glenn and I will be working together to help you, mostly me, but Glenn will be in the mix also a little bit to work on helping you as far as figuring out, well, how is the engagement going, as well as we're going to track things for you.
And also, I'm gonna kind of honcho your calendar, right? So I'm gonna make sure that when they want a demo or presentation, I'll make sure your calendar is in sync, and I'll help you with that, because hopefully when this is successful, there'll be a lot of things coming in, and you may have something on your calendar that says booked, but then I can follow up with you. Hey, Doss, it seems like a good lead. Can you move that or something? I'll help you. I'll be your front end, Doss, and I'll track everything.
Okay.
And so let's say Glenn sees something that says booked over here, right? Let's say you put and it's also, that's very important that you do have things that are booked in your calendar, especially if you have a personal thing, like you're taking your kids or your wife somewhere, or you're going to an appointment yourself somewhere that's not business related, or someone hasn't booked it already. You want to make sure you have your times booked off for that, because the Meeting Bird link will sync with your Google Calendar, and people will only be able to book into available slots. But if Glenn once again sees someone who's saying, hey, I tried booking your calendar for 3 p.m., it looks like you're busy, Glenn will go back to you and say, hey, Doss, your calendar says booked at 3 p.m. Any way you can move that at all? You have someone who wants to talk to you.
Glenn, I'm a little confused, because from our conversation, I thought the objective was for you to drive the leads, and you might lean on me for demos and things like that, or you would have the first conversation with the customer, with the individuals as they book time.
I have no problem with that. So that's part of this discussion right now, especially, now that I've seen it a few times, I'm happy to take the first meeting. And that's actually probably a better strategy, because I take the first meeting, qualify them, and then we have the second meeting with you or Doc. I think that's even more powerful. So Alan, that's what this process is. You'll put it into mine, and then I'll take it. Yeah.
Sure. So we can create the Meeting Bird calendar link to go to your calendar, or to you to create it instead then, Glenn, if you want to. And so
Question, guys. If we did that, then if the original message comes from me, does that come across as a bait and switch? Meaning I'm the person who's having a dialogue with this individual, but then the person that's going to show up for the meeting is somebody different. I'm not going to be there.
yeah, we'll just get that to put that in the messages at all. We'll put that in the messages. So, we'll because I have lots of my clients who have teams where my client rarely takes an actual meeting. They farm it off to one of their teams. So I already have a strategy for that.
Okay. All right. Good. Got it. Makes sense to me now.
Okay. So Glenn and I will work together. Then you and I will create the Meeting Bird calendar interface for Doss's company, and then on the Meeting Bird interface, we'll communicate to the person when they're booking it that the initial meetings with your Doss's team, which is you.
And that's fine. And by the way, I just looked. Meeting Bird does work with Outlook, so
it does. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And that's what Doss and I talked about. So this is all.
That's great.
This is all part of the process here. Coming up to speed and
yeah.
And
so Glenn, In the here we are. Where is it here? So I need your where is the? No, I'm looking for the. Where is the thing here? I'm looking for the controls here. The chat box.
Oh, the chat box for Zoom?
Yeah, where does it go when you have this?
It's all
All
the
of a
way on
sudden
the
it went to the
bottom.
smaller.
It says chat next to the share. You should see it.
Yeah, I'm looking for the.
Here, I'll send you a message.
Yeah.
So the other one more data point, Alan, Glenn, I'm
Yeah.
going to talk to you probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
But since we already hear Glenn, I'll give you an update. I haven't talked to Prem yet.
Okay.
We are bringing on a seasoned individual to join
Where is
Spanish
chat?
full time.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is the last part, Alan. You're bringing on an individual to do what?
This is DOS. I'm telling you about Spanigo.
Right.
We are in the process of bringing on a new person to be joining the team and to be the CEO of the company.
Okay.
I'm going to take on the outbound role, all the sales activities and outbound marketing activities. I finalized the exact my role is going to be as we go forward soon. But I'm more interested in we're at the point where we got to think about scaling the company.
Right.
That's got to be a lot of process stuff. I am not one necessarily good at that, and second, that's definitely not of interest to me. And having somebody else drive that would be helpful. So he's going to start sometime in the next week or 10 days.
Okay.
So just want you to be aware, as we fine tune my LinkedIn, my title will change as well.
That's fine.
Want you guys to be aware of that.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
Glenn, do me a favor and put in your Gmail address here in the chat box. That way I can add you to the DOS's Drive folder.
Sure. Come on, chat box. There it is.
Great, perfect. I'm just going to add you here so you both have access to this folder.
And the other thing, Alan, is that as we tie in Glenn's calendar to this, would I be able to at least see, even though the first meetings I will not be there, I can get a report from Glenn, but I don't want to bother him too much. Is there a way for me to see who is signing up for what meetings?
Yeah, I would say the process should be actually creating the Google Calendar on your interface, DOS, and then giving Glenn access to it afterwards. Because ultimately, they're booking the meetings with you.
Okay. So it should be. And
actually, just thinking about that, if it's going to be booked,
then you'll
you know what, Glenn and I will talk about that.
We could do the opposite. I mean, I just gave you my personal Gmail calendar. I can share it with DOS because I don't really.
Yeah, we'll do that. It's because you're taking the initial meetings. We'll actually do it the opposite. We'll do Glenn's calendar and give Glenn access to it.
At any time. Hey, let me look at Glenn's calendar. Okay, things are filling up. This is great. I know that he's going to be pushing things to me, and then that's fine. You know, I mean, he can take the initial call, and then he doesn't have to say, Glenn, what's going on this week with Alan? He could see on the calendar, great.
Exactly, yeah. So Glenn, you and I will create that.
Glenn, do you want it to be a Google Calendar or a Spanigo calendar? Because that, if it's a Spanigo, if it's Office 365 Spanigo email ID on your calendar, you want it to be more formal coming from Spanigo. And second, we can tie it to a lot easier with other calendars so we can see your free busy times a lot easier.
Yeah, as long as the meeting bird can sync with that, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, we'll just use my calendar because it'll say Spanigo, and I'll just send you that right now, Alan. So you have
sure, yes, email me that. And then you and I, Glenn, will book a meeting after this meeting here to go over the systems and make sure that the meeting bird interface can sync with that calendar.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Perfect.
It's Spanigo.io, I'm sorry. It's
no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll do all this. So once again, the homework, and there's another file called to-dos. So we'll put on your homework. DOS, DOSS, DOSS. So Glenn, I want to have a 30-minute meeting with you every single week for the next
Okay.
4 to 5 weeks. So do me a favor on my meeting bird. Just book that. You have my meeting bird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just book that. That way we can go over what's happening with DOS's program every single week. Quick 30-minute meeting, and go from that.
Okay.
Where is DOS's search string file here? So copy and which one is it here? This one here. Okay, so here, and let's take off all this highlighting. I'm not sure. Put this on here, and then great. Okay. Also, do you have we're on Skype, Glenn? I think, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So yeah, so I'll have to hook you up with, because you're controlling the DOS's account, the program. I'll have to hook you up with Ray on my Skype here, because Ray will be the team lead on your account for DOS, as far as the person who will be putting on the actual messages past the initial connection and first follow-up message.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there? So here's the Sales Navigator LinkedIn PDF I created also on how to manage Sales Navigator. I know you said, DOS, you know it very well. Here's for Glenn also to read this information on how to do searches on Sales Navigator. Custom avatar. So one of the things also I did was I created a custom avatar worksheet. A lot of people haven't done this recently or ever at all, as far as looking at who the top 10 clients are in the company, or as far as the new clients they've got in the last year or whatever, or 2 years, because we want to figure out and decompile them till we can find more of the same. So what industry were they in, company size, what city they're in, the professional job title of the person who was first contacted for the contract, the professional job title of the person who signed the contract, sometimes it's different, the company name, and the company services that the company offers. That way we can sit down, and Glenn and I can sit down afterwards and figure out to make sure the search strings that we're using are finding more of these kind of people.
Got it.
Okay?
Okay.
What else is there? I think that's about it right now. You have some homework to do. I'm going to create.
So a couple of, if I understand that, couple of action items. One is that I need to send you the spreadsheet, the intake spreadsheet, fill that out.
Yep.
Second is I need to send you a picture.
Yeah. So fill out spreadsheet, which is this one over here. No. Here's one here. Okay. This is the intake form.
Okay.
Intake form. Okay. Glenn, book 30-minute meeting. Both of you guys watch the search string create video. Let's get you and me on three-way, Glenn, on Skype. Okay. And if you have any questions at all, do me a favor, just put them either by email or put them on here. Maybe just put here on this to-do list.
And, did you already send the link to the G drive? Because I didn't see it. Or are you going to do that?
Yeah, I already sent you the link for the whole folder here.
Okay.
So you three are all on here already.
Okay.
Should have come to our Gmail account, Glenn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably
Got it, yeah.
Google Drive itself.
Glenn, and where is DOS here? Oh, that's weird. DOS and chat. And
Yeah, I got it. Yep.
here goes KC and V and send. So we got you, me, and DOS. Right, everybody's on here now. Everybody should be able to view this folder here with all the different files. Next thing I'm going to do is actually put on folder, new folder, and meeting videos. So when I create or do a meeting and record it on Zoom, I'll put those meeting videos and date them into this folder here, okay? Called meeting videos. That way, if you want to go over the video again afterwards and see what we spoke about, they're right over here. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I think that is about it. Once I have access to your LinkedIn account, DOS, sometimes LinkedIn asks for a code when we're logging into your LinkedIn, not exactly in the exact IP address you're on. So I might be asking you for a code onto LinkedIn. Do you have Skype, DOS?
I do.
What's your Skype ID? Want to put it in the chat box? And I'll send you a Skype invitation. There. You just look up just to say hi. There we go. So, and then Glenn, once we create the 3-way or 4-way Skype chat box, perfect. Then we'll, if my team sees something on LinkedIn, for instance, let's say there's a conversation on LinkedIn we think that you guys should be addressing. Here's the, yeah.
I'm not on Skype. I probably check that maybe once every 2-3 weeks or so.
Hey.
Even we have Teams, we have WhatsApp, we have a bunch of other things. Skype is not something I use very often.
Hey.
If it's urgent, please text me and I'll respond immediately.
Sure. So put your text number in the thing there. But Glenn, you're on Skype all the time, right?
I'm not really on all the time. I'm more like it'll show up on my phone or my watch.
Okay. So that's way I found was the best way to do it is Skype. So let's say we have a conversation.
That's fine for me because I'll see it immediately.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's say there's a conversation that we think you guys should be addressing. Then we'll take the conversation URL here and we'll pop it into Skype like this. And that way you can click on the conversation link, Glenn, being in DOS's account also on LinkedIn. So you'll need to be on there also and go right to the conversation and answer the person's question or get DOS to do it.
Okay, you just raised something that's a new one for me. I'm sure you'll tell me. I didn't know that one could be on one's account in LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So you'll just have DOS's login and you'll log into his account also. And that way you'll have his account, let's say on a separate browser. That way if you want to be on your LinkedIn account also in a different browser, you can do both at the same time.
Okay, so you were just saying I get his LinkedIn password and I log in as DOS. There's not a way to add him to the account like G Drive or anything.
No. It's one person at a time.
Okay. Is that okay with you, DOS?
Yeah, sure. As long as you guys don't change any of the
I'm not
No, we're not changing nothing at all. Without your permission first.
Right.
So I am going to change things on your account though.
So one thing, how would we differentiate between some of the messages I'm having with my friends and so on from the messages we have as part of this campaign?
Meaning? Sorry.
I've got LinkedIn colleagues and friends,
Yeah.
and we have all kinds of conversations with them.
Yeah.
How do I? So you guys,
well, it'd be pretty obvious from the conversation thread. I mean, we'll be able to see that the person's not brand new, right? You can go on LinkedIn and go on to anybody's LinkedIn conversations and look at the thread and the history of the conversation, right? And we can see whether or not this is a brand new person that we got, because everything we'll be doing with somebody will be May 16th and past, right? So if we see someone you're having a conversation with that, started back 2 years ago, we'll just ignore it.
Okay.
Okay. But also with that in mind, we can also dive into your current list of people you have on LinkedIn. So there are two ways of doing this. There is getting brand new people to your LinkedIn account and also mining your current database. What is your current database on LinkedIn at?
I don't know, 700, 800 up some number.
Okay, so that nothing really then. Okay.
Not,
Okay.
and plus that database is not targeted at the customers that I'm going after now.
Okay. Well, we'll be from now on.
Yep.
Okay. So that's fine. It shouldn't be a problem differentiating who is old and who is new.
Okay. Sounds good.
So when you create the search strings on LinkedIn, you'll always click on second and third as opposed to first connections. So once again, first connections are people you're directly connected to. If you and I are connected, Doss and Glenn, then all my first connections are your second connections, and all their second connections are your third connections.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So once again, we're going to get a new picture over here. I'm going to create a new cover background. We're going to change the verbiage over here once DOS approves it. Right. We're going to send the verbiage to you first, get approval, quick approval, and then change the verbiage here. Answering the questions once again. What makes us different? What kind of results can you expect with our company as far as examples? And why should you use my company, use me, as opposed to the other 1,000 people on LinkedIn in my area or in the US doing, security IT?
Okay.
And then try to put the same kind of information onto the company page as well.
By the way, did you send me your request? I have not received it.
Yeah, I sent it to you already. You should have received it. Oh, didn't say. I don't see here. What's your email address? I'll send it to you again.
I don't know what email ID I used for this. Probably Gmail.
Doesn't matter. You just use any of your email addresses. Let's use this one over here,
yes,
the Gmail one.
Yeah.
I thought I sent it already.
Gee, Alan, maybe it's because you're multitasking, right?
It could be. Huh. It said.
I have you here.
It said it was sent. Pending. There it goes. Is it there now?
I sent you a connection request from my side.
Okay, great. I'll just go to yours and accept yours. There goes. Great. Perfect. Now we're connected.
Okay.
So yeah, any questions at all, guys?
I think I'm clear now. Thank you.
Yeah, just put any questions you have here. I can always answer them here also.
Okay, and the name of that file is, to-dos.
To-dos, yeah.
Okay, great, fine. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, it's important to have a common repository where you write things down, right?
Yep. Yeah, I do everything on Google Drive. So, if you send me a message like by email, whatever, and it's important for the process, I'd rather have it here than by email. That way we can all see it and track it.
Okay.
And that's it. So my team will start filling out the spreadsheet here. Once you have started your program and people start getting communications with you, as you can see, here's an example, the date that it was done on, as far as when my team put the information in, the person's name on LinkedIn, their LinkedIn profile, if you had a call with them, followed up by who, Glenn or Doss, and then what was said basically in the conversation. And that way you can see and track, for instance, who you're sending proposals to, what's happening with Thread, and everything's transparent. So you're not wondering, well, who did I talk to beforehand, right? It's all here.
So this is what we do, you do, or both? I wasn't clear.
Both. Primarily, my team will do this spreadsheet as far as filling it out.
Okay.
But if you see something on there that Glenn that isn't on there yet, please don't hesitate for us, or wait for us at all.
Right. I recall that on a previous thread, you said that once a week, and that's what I guess the weekly meeting is, that I needed to share with you our CRM. And Doss needs to hear that. We have something, but I want to talk about that.
Yeah, sure. So we'll use this CRM instead if you want to import or export this CRM and then save it as an Excel file and then import it to your other CRM, that's fine. But generally speaking, my team won't have access to your other CRM. I'd rather do it on this one over here because we all have access to this one here.
Okay.
This is just a spreadsheet, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Glenn, what we can do is we can spreadsheet can be imported into Airtable very easily.
Yeah,
We can just copy this and import Airtable because that acts like a spreadsheet too.
yeah,
In one.
Right, I understand that. So
Now,
you and I'll talk about that offline.
sure.
Yeah.
Whatever makes sense, whatever easiest. I don't think any of us
exactly.
caught up into I have to use this. What's the best and fastest and easiest way to accomplish the task?
After 4.5 years of doing it, I found this one is it.
Okay.
So, but once again, you can export this afterwards and import it into your own CRM.
Okay. All right.
And now, the one thing people always also ask me is, can I get people's email addresses from LinkedIn? Unfortunately, with the new changes in 2019 January, no. If you do an export on your LinkedIn profile, it no longer includes email addresses.
Right. Understand. Unless the person specifically listed it under their contact.
Exactly. And that usually my team will look at their contact and pull all the information they can as far as email address, website, LinkedIn profile, name, phone numbers, that kind of thing.
Right. Okay.
Any questions at all, gentlemen?
Mm-hmm.
Not for me. I think
Okay, so Glenn, why don't we book our follow-up meeting for you and I? How long do you think it'll get you guys to do all the to-dos as far as filling out all the forms and things?
Most of that's you, Doss. I mean, my stuff's pretty easy.
Today is Thursday. Sunday at the latest.
Okay, so why don't you and I have our first meeting on Monday then, Glenn?
Okay.
Just go to my calendar and book it,
All right.
and then book some other ones after that so we have it pre-booked. I get pretty booked up pretty quickly sometimes.
Okay.
if
So
you
we'll
pre-book
book
them,
Mondays then for 5 weeks.
yeah. And we can do our week. Also, if you want to do, once you send me the calendar link, I can create a repeat. If you want to do the same time each Monday,
Okay.
just
Okay.
keep it simple.
Yep.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, guys have a great day. Thank you for coming today, and I look forward to serving you, Doss.
sounds good, guys.
Alan, thank you. Great meeting you, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing this process play out.
Yeah. And do me a favor, just put your linked or your text messaging here. So here's my mobile over here. Just toss yours in this one over here. So I have your mobile address. And then maybe also we'll create a text message group for all three of us. That way, if I want to ask you guys a question, everybody gets CC'd on it.
Alan, I already
Yeah.
put it in the chat box.
Okay, let me just see here. Okay, so here it is. Perfect. And then Glenn, want to just toss in yours right now, and I'll put yours in here also. That way we all have
Sure.
access to everybody's text messaging and.
Glenn, you're missing a plus. I don't know if that's a country code. Or you can admit the one.
Perfect. Hey, so I'll probably send you guys a text message to say hi. Just respond to it. That way we have a three-way text chat, all right?
Okay.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Okay. You too. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
End the meeting here. Oh, here it is. Okay. End the meeting for all.